7 p.m. Just got this thing going again. Been super busy, really all a bunch of great stuff. I'm retiring from managing my portfolio and concentrating only on my students. You know, I've got many millionaires in my class now, new millionaires, new multi-millionaires too. Got some real brilliant people, and anybody that can get in there be lucky to be in there. I don't let just anybody in, but I am starting to open the door, and I'm getting some bright people, and it's always wonderful. Believe me, the more the merrier, right? Anyways, I was going to share some stuff. You know, you guys know I'm a hands-on guy, do a lot of stuff, and I actually had leak detection out today. I had let me find that video. If you guys are interested in that, I'll share some of that with you. This is Claude. He's actually, whoops, wrong one. Claude here is a plumber. He's been working for me for quite a while. And we had some kind of neat stuff. Hey, audio's good. I appreciate that. So, look, I'll tell you, I talked to a lot of people, and I want to there's so much to share. I really, it's pretty exciting, with AI. You're going to see some new stuff I got coming out. I'm gonna have AI compare me to Grant Cardone, his history, his record, his Pace Morby, which is almost a non-existent record. He kind of came out of a puff of smoke. No real history, no real experience to back up any of the stuff that he says, and so it's going to be a lot of fun. But I'll just show you this real quick. This is one of my properties I bought. In this neighborhood where this property is. This is the seventh house I bought in that neighborhood over the period of about 15 years. First house I bought was at 129. Second one, 129, 139, 149, 220, 220. And I started selling those houses for anywhere from 440 at a low, 630 at a high. I sold 3 houses, made $1.5 million, and bought a building that brings in $12,000 net to me a month. And these are the kinds of things that you can do. And I'm telling you, I'm 63 years old. I've been doing this for 43 years. And oh, hey, Russ, glad to see you in here. Guys like Russ make it so much fun. Russ is in the class, and he's made millions of dollars since being in there. He got in here. He's a brilliant guy. He was in residential real estate. He wanted to know about commercial real estate, and he got what he wanted. And now he owns over 50,000 square feet of commercial real estate, and he's made millions of dollars now. It's a beautiful thing, and you'll be lucky to know Russ. You'll know him if you get in the class, and it's a very, very cool thing. So Russ, thanks for popping in, by the way. So Russ, I was going to show you this. Anyways, look, let's look at this. And anybody got any questions about anything real estate, let me know. I am going to do a live webinar this Thursday, 7 p.m. And because I haven't done one in so long. So let's take a look at this a little bit. Why isn't that working? Okay. So you can see he's running this. Nice, Russ. We've got a camera going right there. So just to give you an idea, this is that last house I bought for $550,000. I bought this, this house worth about $700,000. I bought it for my daughter as a bridge loan. I'm her bridge loan. My daughter is actually a really talented accountant. She's got a master's degree in accounting, worked for a big accounting firm. She's kind of getting sick of it. And I said, you know what, baby, come to work for me. And so she's come to work for me. And the whole point of this is she's taking over my. I didn't expect her to do this, but she's taking over she's taking over all the accounting. She's taking care of all the leasing and all that stuff. That's a big part of what I do. But now I get to just focus on the fun part, which is treasure hunting, right? And making the money. Listen, I've been so blessed. Because since 19 is when I discovered real estate. And I've been doing nothing but making money since I was 19 years old. And by the time I hit 27, I really hit my stride. I made $1 million back in the 80s. It's a long time ago. And now guys like Russ, they're repeating my success, but they're even getting it at a faster rate because they got somebody to talk to. And he's not the only one. It's a very, very cool thing. So look, this is a piece of equipment. This is a camera. They can run down, and you can kind of see the problems that you got under the house. In this case here, they'd done an addition to the house and added another master bathroom, and you'll see the problem that we had. Oh, that's great, Russ. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, Russ has got, man, he not a home run. He had a grand slam, and we'll share it here one of these days. But so take a look at this. This is the camera that is running a probe down. Kind of shows you where it's at in the street. Okay. Oh, you're going back towards where you. And you're not going to hear much audio because you're just probably not. And I don't know why this is glitching, but. Anyway, so that's the deal right there. He's got that running in the street, and then he's got a probe he's walking around.
Make sure I push the button right.
You can hear it. It's really kind of weird. So he's running around, and he's going to trace that thing all the way to the sewer tap in the street, and that's what he's doing right now. And there's going to be a full video coming out on this. And so he's coming out. He gets over here. Runs it again. We take a look down inside, and then we find the problem, and we isolate the problem right to where he's at right there. Right there. And we dug that up, and we found the problem. The guys had actually put in a stretch of pipe, and they got lazy, and they kind of bent it over. In fact, and I apologize, I'm kind of giving you a sneak peek on this thing. But we find it. And here it is. Here you see, and it was very bent. And what you can see is, I want you to take a look at this. What this is from this point over to here, they hit a hard spot. We're sitting on limestone where we're at here, and basically, somebody that didn't really know what they're doing bent this pipe over the top of a rock like this, and it ended up penetrating it. And actually, they weren't even using really good sewer line. They were using the kind of stuff that you would use like in a septic tank. In fact, I found the septic tank. The old septic tank, too, is also sitting right next to this. We'll be busting that open and filling it with dirt. But so anyhow, we pulled this piece of pipe out that you see right here and chipped up the rock underneath it and ran a new piece, and now everything's good. And then later he ends up showing me another. Claude's really has just
Cover over those two.
Made some vents. These are little vent covers made out of hardy plank. And you can see they had screen in here, but see how the screen's ripped? You see that ripped screen that I'm pointing to? That's a spot where rats could get in, that sort of thing. But anyways, we just took some hardy and cut it out, and you'll see.
So what we did is we just took some hardy plank
that already, and you see my guys are nailing it up with a brad nailer right there. And it looks really nice. Very pleased with it. Hey, Cole, glad to see you in here, buddy.
He has vents built in it.
And anyhow, then, by the way, you can see, I was talking about these cameras, these Eufy cameras, which Russ knows them. They're all over his new beautiful building.
Claude's got a new toy on his truck. He's going to show it.
You can see it right here. Anyways, these Eufy cameras are really badass. I'm going to show you guys because they're a pan and tilt. Every camera's a pan and tilt. Plus, it has a 90-degree constant camera here, so you can turn it this way and you can cover 180 degrees. It's a beautiful system. I really, really love it. Yeah. What was the that camera is for that camera that you just saw. Is one that you run down inside your sewer line, and then you just push it through, and then you'll find if there's roots infiltrating or whatever the clog is. One time we went down and we were looking right at a dead rat, looking straight at us. There's rats in the sewer, if you don't know that. And sometimes they try to, they would get in your house if you didn't have traps, right, water traps. But I've actually seen a camera go down, and we're looking right at a rat that we chewed up with a cutter. So now what you're about to see next is Claude is showing me his latest tool, which injects hydrogen and something else into a water line so that you can find, it's kind of a sniffer. It'll detect the leak, it'll sniff out the hydrogen, and then, or some other additive, and then it'll tell you where it's at, and then you kind of narrow it down with a microphone. If you've ever had an in-slab leak, let me tell you, you can pinpoint it really well with just a plunger and a microphone inside the plunger. You just run that on the floor, and you'll feel yourself getting closer, kind of like a metal detector, where the beep gets stronger, but it's just the sound of the rushing water, and then pretty soon you'll be right over it. I was very impressed because it was like 40 years ago. I had an in-slab leak, and the plumber came out, found it with a microphone inside of a plunger, and narrowed it down to just a narrow little spot like that. So look, I want you guys to know I've got a webinar this Thursday, 7 p.m. I'm kind of not prepared. I'm kind of a mess here with the computer system here. But 7 p.m. Central Time. Go to the link below. Go to flipanythingusa.com/webinar. You don't want to miss it. I just want to plead with you guys. There's so much garbage out there on YouTube. 99% garbage. And I'm telling you, when you've got all these fake gurus that collab with each other, I'm talking about Pace Morby with Grant Cardone, I'm even going to say it, Cody Sanchez with McElroy, all these YouTubers backslap each other because they really don't have credibility and good and don't have students like I have that have made hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. So because they don't have those students, what do? They pat each other on the back and say, oh, you're great. No, you're great. And then you guys fall for it. And a lot of you don't. You know something doesn't smell right. And then when you find me, you go, you know what? Tom's different. And I am different. I'm real. And so anyhow, let's get on with
On
this.
his truck, he's going to show us. Let's go check that out. Hey, I wanted to come see that. What you got? He's always got the nicest trucks and the best tools. What'd you get?
Okay. Claude's got a new toy he's going to show us. It's a sniffer. Tell us about it.
You put hydrogen, a mix of hydrogen and nitrogen gas in a water line or a sewer line, and this thing sucks it up and finds it. Right? So when you have a leak when you can't find it, this thing sucks it up and it shows you on a screen that how much the percentage of hydrogen and nitrogen that you're finding. Right? So you'll be walking around looking for a leak in a yard, and all of a sudden it'll pick it up, and you just go closer and closer, and the scale just did like that scale gets higher and higher.
Wow.
As you get closer and closer to it. So
and so this is kind of a replacement
slabs,
for having to blow smoke, right? Would you say?
Well, smoke is for sewers. This is for water.
Oh, this is for water.
This is for water. So like a slab leak in a house, you can find it. It'll come up. They say that you can find a leak 10 feet deep with this.
Wow.
Because that gas is so, molecules are so small, it'll come up through concrete and the floor and everything.
So you're injecting the water with?
I inject it with a special bottle.
Oh, okay.
It's a hydrogen-nitrogen mix.
Wow.
So it's a special gas.
And for finding a slab leak, but so in the old days,
Or like a big, you can't see it.
Right.
Sometimes there's like limestone shells underneath here. It could be leaking 2 gallons a minute.
right?
And you'll never see it.
worse.
But I put this gas on there. I shut off the water and I put this gas in there. It'll sniff that gas right out.
Wow. I know. I just had a $2,000 and a $3,000 water bill, 2 months in a row. Somebody turned on the faucet and it just never got seen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Finished in a week and a half.
Anyways, that video's coming. You'll see that in more detail. And I wish I was lying about that. I had a slab leak. I'm sorry. I have like a compound. Okay, where I live, right? And it's prime property, really in the middle of everything. It's really, really cool property. But it's big. And somebody turned on a faucet to water something temporarily, and I didn't catch it. I didn't think about it. And then I get a bill for $3,000, 1 month's water, $3,000 water. And then, just being busy, I didn't get on it quick enough. And then the following month, I got another one for $2,000. And all it was a faucet was turned on, and I went back to the back 40 of my property, and sure enough, it was just soaked. And so you got to watch that stuff. But anyways, look, I really want to get some people that are serious about making money, that want to make money. If you're somebody out there, you got $50 to $1 million, whatever, $50,000 to $1 million. Look, I know you don't know real estate. I get it. You're confused. You're out there. There's all these choices and all this bullshit, and a lot of it doesn't smell right. Well, it doesn't smell right because it's not right. And but if you just the fact that you can sense that, like people find me, they find out I do a Pace Morby video, and they go, yeah, I knew something wasn't right about that guy. Or they'll say something about Chris Crone, Grant Cardone, and then they binge watch me, and then they're like, man, I'm sold, and then they get in. Well, and I want that to be you. And so I just want you to see, if you get in a webinar, you'll find out very quickly that all the deals are near you, right? This is kind of where I'm at today, right? This is near my neighborhood where I'm at today. And you can see every one of these is a property that I own, or I still own, or maybe one I bought and flipped and made hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars on. I made a lot of money, and I've owned a lot of property. I mean, look at all this stuff. Look how close everything is. Everything is nearby, right? Everything is nearby. I think I bought 15 houses in that neighborhood, and like I say, you'll see I own buildings between home and whatever, a business destination. I call it a barbell because it's a cluster of properties here, and then this makes up the bar in the middle, right? Is a chain of properties in between, which are usually commercial. You can see there's a commercial property there. That's a corner I own. Here's another shopping center, little strip center I own. Oh, shit. Sorry, my bad, damn it. Thanks. It's because I didn't have this damn microphone near me. It's because I had it closer over there. Again, I apologize. I'm getting all this stuff dialed in. I'm looking forward to being able to do a better job, and that's going to come with retiring from, I'm still going to be treasure hunting. Don't get me. I can't. Bird dogging's in my blood, which, by the way, if you don't have my app, it's called Bird Dog Pro. You can get it free. And you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it. Bird Dog Pro, and you just go to your app store and get it. It has very unique features, and I want for you guys that don't have much money, you definitely get that app, because what you can do is you find a deal, you can share that either with just me or just whoever you want to share it with, or you can share it on a broad basis to a lot of people. And you Pace, Morby, a lot of people complain about getting ripped off by other people within the Pace Morby. I've seen people say, they're sharing it, and then somehow one investor takes advantage of them. Listen, you have a hot deal. You put that out there, and you can have guys like me bidding against each other to get that deal from you, and then you can make some money. But I want you to look at these assets. These are buildings I still own here. This is one along a freeway. Beautiful property. I got, offices. I actually built this office building right here. I built that about 20-something years ago, 16,000 square foot. Had the same tenant for 20 years. Industrial, big flex spaces. I still own that. This is a little school I own. I have schools. I have all kinds of properties. And, all of these, look at this, but look at all this stuff. Everything's near each other. Everything is near each other. And listen, what you don't know, you need to find out about, right? And what you got to understand is, you're real easy to fool. That little industrial building you see right there. I bought that for $240,000. I sold it for $1,725,000. And apartment buildings. Some of you guys have apartment property dreams. I get that. Where is it? I have some apartments here somewhere. Here they are. Look at these apartment buildings. I bought these a long time ago, but I bought these for peanuts. I paid $325,000 just for these two buildings right here. No, what did I pay? Let me think about it. I paid $340,000 actually, and I sold these property for a couple $1 million. And then I bought this building too. This one here, I owned all three of these, and I made a couple $1 million right on that street. And I've made a couple $1 million on properties that are just a rock's throw away. So think of that, a couple $1 million there, $1.5 million here. Who couldn't live on $3.5 million out here, right? Who couldn't use $3.5 million? Millions of dollars on houses, more millions made on other properties. Look, I don't have a 401k, or I don't have my retirement plan is simple. Accumulate a bunch of assets till I'm too old to deal with them, and then they take care of me and the family. And so that is really what you want. I'm telling you, Russ knows this now in the class, and many others do, and I hope you guys can be a part of it. But listen, go to the mentorship or go to the webinar that's coming this Thursday. Go to the links below, and let me see if I can make this thing show a subscribe. Yep, there's subscribe right there, right? Like and subscribe. Also, please subscribe. So many people watch this and they don't subscribe. You can still, there's a wealth of information here. You just have to tune in a little bit. And I know I'm not the slickest, but things are going to be improving, I promise you. But everybody knows in class, we do a Zoom every Saturday. And in those Saturdays, I mean, it's just gold. It's just absolute gold. You see other students making hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, like in Russ's case here recently, and another student, Rich, also. And, but it's very real, and you can be a part of it, and it can happen, and it can happen for you. Let me take you over here real quick. So look, go through the site here, and you'll find out. Right? There's students here. Jerry here made $1 million just on that building right behind him. Shane, he made $200 and some odd thousand in his first 7 months. Garrett also, he actually made 15 grand on a trailer flip, and then he joined the class after that. And he's gone on to make much more money since then. And these aren't I have an abundance of wealthy investors. Eric did something I'd never seen happen. He actually got a zero down, zero interest deal, made probably $800,000 to $1 million, $800,000 to $1 million in that. Steve here's made $1 million, and this is all real stuff. Herb's an agent in New York that joined. Shane, this is the second video we made. Now he's up to about $500,000. Kai also North Carolina kicking ass, and so. And look at the age. We're all over the place. We got guys in their 30s, up to guys in their 50s, and it's super, super stuff, man. I hope you can be a part of it. And anyways, so I'll leave this at that for now. But listen, if you found my station, found my channel, hit subscribe. It's been a long day for me. I've been out there doing that leak detection, and I've got several I bought another house here just last week, and 3 weeks before that. You're going to see some great videos coming out on those renovations, and you're going to see that I'll make $100,000 minimum on each of the houses that I bought. The last 7 houses actually that I purchased, and there's just so much more. Actually, this is great too. You couples like the LeMaster duo here. This is a couple that, jumped in, made $70,000 almost immediately. And, it's very real. And if anybody's got a question, ask a question. Anybody, don't be shy. Listen, don't be a flower on the wall. You can't afford to be, to be shy right now. You really can't, because, you've got AI coming, you got robotics taking over jobs. You really want to get in and make some money in the next 10 years, because the following 10 years may not be so kind to people. I don't know. But I can tell you, you want to be able to sleep and make money, right? When I go to sleep, I make money. When I'm sick and not working, I'm making money. And that's what I want for you guys that are watching. It's a wonderful thing. Interest never sleeps, and guess what? Rentals never sleep either. That rental income keeps coming in. That interest, if you sell, property on notes. I got a book full of notes here. This is from the 80s. Okay, there's $1 million that I made my first $1 million right here before 1991, and what was I? I was probably 27, 28 years old, right around then, 28 in 1990. And there's There's just nothing like it. It's just hard to describe, but it is a wonderful feeling, and I hope you similarly can feel it, just like these individuals have. You see, scrolling by me, and these can be your classmates, but you gotta start. You gotta start somewhere, right? You gotta start with a book. And then, and then you can have a free call with me, get in the mentorship. You can talk to me for free. I charge a lot of money for that. If somebody wants to have a one-on-one, you can have a one-on-one with me in the webinar. With other people are going to be listening in, but that's the benefit. Everybody should get the benefit of the conversation. So, all right, I'll let you guys go. I am going to go get some dinner and take a walk, and maybe who knows what next? Who knows what? Anyways, so that's it, guys. Take care.